All right, we're here, Function House, Tuesday night, live from Redhook. Tonight, our very special guest DJ is Dom Tufaro. Welcome to the show, man.
My guys, what's up?
What's going on, man? Welcome.
Honestly, man, I'm very excited to be here tonight.
Welcome to Redhook.
The Hook.
Honestly, this is my first time in this area.
Really?
Yeah? What do you think?
It's cool. It's very homey. You know?
Redhook's really coming together.
Yeah, honestly, I was out here. I was not in Redhook, but I was out, Williamsburg. Like last week, it was
Kind of reminds you of Williamsburg, this place.
Yeah, it's got a little, the flavor's coming here.
Until you make the wrong left on one of these streets.
Yeah.
And there's like terrible public transportation here. There's one bus in, one bus out.
Yeah.
So that's why it hasn't fully.
I'm a rookie. I almost got killed by a bike the other day.
Where are you from?
I'm from the Bronx.
All right.
Yeah, from the Bronx.
So you were born and raised in the Bronx?
Yes, in the Bronx, yep. I was in Country Club, Throgs Neck area. So, but, growing up there it's a great neighborhood. I mean, everybody was playing outside, all that,
Ton of DJs from the Bronx.
Yeah. Our show's been very Bronx heavy the last.
Well, the last couple weeks, the Bronx has been here.
Big Bronx, Eddie B. Swift, Hector.
Bronx brings it, baby. That's all.
So how did you get into it? Like being in the Bronx, I guess there's a lot of DJs around. Who were some of your influences? How'd you get into the DJ game?
Man, I honestly, I always loved music, growing up, I always listened to music, downloaded music. I had like all those programs that downloaded, songs.
All the legal programs.
Yeah, the
right?
legal ones,
WinMX.
when I was a kid, so getting all those viruses on my computer and shit. But I really, really enjoyed, playing music and playing it loud. And I got money together. I finally got a mixer. I finally got I got a Denon dual deck, thing. And it was no laptops yet. So it was already on the screen.
So what year was this?
I was 18, so 10 years ago.
All right.
So put it that way. I plugged it into my dad's surround sound. So he
Blew
was
out
pissed.
the speakers.
Blew his speakers. But it's funny because before I even bought the mixer, I had the player and I was working off one side, just looping and stuff, and I was horrible. I was awful. But then, eventually, I went to college and some promoters from the college bars and stuff gave me an opportunity to
Did you
DJ.
stay local for college or you went away?
I went to Iona, so it was New Rochelle, so it's local.
Yeah, it's not far.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So
You're doing like college parties, dorm
yeah,
parties?
doing college parties, dorms, house parties. Got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
But
So you were probably the man in college, bro.
yeah, but I didn't spend as much time as I would like to, of like to at at the college dorm,
Right.
or the campus and stuff. But I was trying to get into clubs and I was showing face and like a lot of guys gave me opportunities when I was 18 to open up and I could run through a list Surge, Shortcuts, like these guys were DJing. They gave me opportunities to open up for them, and they're a lot older than me, so I appreciate that. And getting all the stuff and getting good was a lot of work. I put the time in.
So there had to be like that one DJ that gave you the bug to start DJing.
I'll tell you the truth. I followed Eric Morello around everywhere. That was my guy, man. Everything he did, I just loved it. The energy, he put it down.
So was house music like your...
Honestly, house music has my heart.
So the other music just pays the bills, basically.
Yeah, it pays the bills, the hip hop and the.
Because you do both. I see that you dabble in the hip hop too, the open format. I know you play some open format.
Yeah, I
rooms.
keep my schedule, kind of filled up with the open format stuff, and I try to really get more house gigs, but it's just paying the bills is a big deal for me.
The music that you're making, you should be fucking everywhere with the house gigs.
Oh man, hopefully next year has a lot to offer for me.
Yeah.
So how'd you get the production bug?
I just knew somewhere down the line that, if you didn't make music, you were gonna kind of get stuck somewhere, and I didn't want to be that guy to get stuck, and I wanted to do it. So I took a break. I don't want to say take a break from DJing, but I took a lot of time off. I kept some gigs, and I learned how to play the piano. It took me like 3 years to really learn the chords and scales.
Did you teach yourself or you took lessons?
Taught myself.
Wow.
Taught myself. I mean, I had people around me that played the piano, so I was able to kind of pick stuff that they did and learn from them. And
Can you read music or you play by ear?
I can't read music, so that's I play by ear and I know the scales, so if something was off the scale, I can tell, it just started from there.
So you basically locked yourself in for 3
Yeah,
years.
locked
and learned.
myself in, man.
That's great.
That's amazing. So when you first started getting the hang of it, that must have felt great.
Oh, honestly, when I first started, I think it was A sharp minor. That was the first scale I was really got dominant in, and I was playing and flying along, and it was a great feeling knowing that.
And then it's just building the strength in your fingers, right?
Just honestly, it still hurts. It still hurts. I don't play often enough.
So that must help, like when you're scratching too.
It's all touch, and
Yeah.
if you don't, keep up with, your feelings and how it feels to scratch or play the piano, you're just gonna fall off. You gotta stay on it.
So you've been putting music out for a while. I remember hearing tracks from you 8 years ago, 7 years
I did
ago.
so many remixes and originals. It was more like towards the commercial side of house. Like towards that time was just the EDM was.
It was
kind of
the bubble. It was the bubble.
It was just people were trying to find their way, and a lot of the DJs and a lot of the producers were playing all different kinds of house, and people were jumping on bandwagons and fads, and all the house music was just.
Did you jump on the bandwagon?
You know what it is? I don't want to say I did, but I got a lot of influence from a lot of the guys. I seen them out, and I wanted to be that. So.
Well, I mean, a lot of people did jump on the bandwagon. I mean, I get it.
I guess whatever the crowd wants.
Yeah,
They were
you're
making
right.
so much money, these
Yeah,
guys.
I know.
It was hard not to take a shot at it,
It makes sense.
So what do you find yourself gravitating to today in producing your tracks?
Right now, tech house, man. Tech house. I like the soulful stuff. Every now and then it's just, but right now I'm trying to get tough and just, do some nightclubs. Real nightclubs. And really, attract the ear of the underground. And, it's to me, it's where my passion is. I want to do that underground stuff.
Street slang.
Street slang.
Talk to me about it.
So, with the production comes, collaborations and you team up with other people and you make moves and you try to, put tracks together. And recently I got together with Scribble, DJ Scribble, MTV DJ Scribble, Project Dad. But we got together and, we decided on coming up with, an alias to what we do. Because, he's, big open format hip hop, origin. Me too. So, and we kind of want to take that hip hop flavor and kind of put it into some tech house and have some of that. And, so that's why we came up with the name Street Slang. It's our way of portraying our music. It's slang. Language is slang in different, parts of the world. And slang is how you say a certain thing. So our way of interpreting our music is street slang.
Right.
So
Are you actually DJing together or just producing together?
we're producing together. We haven't got any gigs yet. So we will be DJing together. It's just a matter of time. And we're stockpiling. We're stockpiling some records. And right now we're doing pretty good. I mean, we have, I think 5 are on the way to some good places. So,
Yep. So
I mean, I'm clear to talk about a few. But, this Juicy Armada is going to take 2 of the records that I know of, like right now I could talk of. And you'll hear them tonight. So
cool.
and
How do you go about finding, a place for your record? Soliciting these labels, like how does it work? I mean,
honestly,
friends-
you kind of have an idea of like what the DJs that are already on those labels are playing, and you kind of, you cater to. I don't want to say cater to them because that's not you. You gotta like stick to your own style. But when you make something and it just comes and it flows naturally,
You just know where to
you
send
kind of
it.
know where it goes.
Yeah.
And you try certain labels and like, is this working for you at this moment? Every label kind of tries to, they change every couple months, I would say. Like they go for this kind of style and then it evolves into this a little bit and then it comes back. But it's all about catching the right wave.
So what type of money do you make in making tracks?
Oh,
so
it's-
is the label buying your track?
I think
and that's
it's-
it, or are you getting residuals off of every track that's sold on, say, like a Beatport or Track Source? How does it work for you guys?
Honestly, I think the best way to put it is the music sales are really not there these
Yep.
days.
Yeah.
So like it's really for the shows. If
basically just getting your name out to get booked.
exactly.
Yep.
It's for the shows. It's all in the shows. It's pretty much always been.
Yep.
I mean, like unless you're like a Drake or Beyonce or Jay-Z. Like, you ain't really selling these many records.
Well, I mean, back in like the '90s, they were getting some really big money for remixes, like $50K
Yeah, they
for
were getting advances. There's
remixes.
no such thing as an advance anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I did a few records. I did a record with Tamara Wallace and Amanda Wilson, and this is, you know, after they did those big records with like Chucky and, you know, one with Oscar and you know.
How did that get hooked up?
You know, it just, you know, through one of my managers, my manager Ruben, used to Nene Music, Tune Addicts. I was doing remixes for them, and like she reached out for some productions. She had like leftover vocals. I think Eric Pertz was supposed to get some of the vocals, and they ended up in my lap, and I ended up doing the mix, and they approved, and it worked out.
Cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so it's funny how like a lot of things just fall into your lap, and it's out of your control.
You stay positive. That's why.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. As long as you're out there and you're, you know, putting out a good vibe, you know, people start to gravitate.
So what is the plan for the next couple of years? Are you just going to be banging out tracks, trying to get them to as many labels as possible?
So I would, you know, right now I think we're sitting on about 75 tracks.
It's time to start releasing
So
them.
it's
buddy.
time to start looking for some homes, right?
Wow, 75 tracks.
75.
That's what you guys did together? Or?
You know, some of the stuff that I did and he did, and we kind of combined, and then we did some stuff around, like together, and we're putting our touches on everything. So it's just over time, and I would say over the last year and a half, I would say they accumulated to about 75 tracks.
And how long does it take you guys to do a track?
Everyone's different. Sometimes it's bang. Sometimes it's 2 weeks.
Do you ever
Sometimes you
have
hit a
to,
wall.
You have to like walk away.
Sometimes it's a month. Yeah, you have to. Yeah, the other day was a perfect example. Started a track the other day. We got maybe like 5 tracks in on the mixer, and it was just wasn't sounding right. We're like, oh, you know what? Let's both go to bed. And we'll come back. You know, and you know, we have the studio at our disposal. It's, you know, it's Scribbles studio. It's a great studio. So, and we could take that break and come back. You know, a lot of people don't have that luxury. They gotta,
How often are you there? How often are you in the studio?
I'm there 5 days a week. 5 days a week, easy.
And what programs are you working with?
It's funny you ask. I'm just trying to switch over to Ableton to get some stuff, like, because every program has like its own, you know, upside. Yes, yeah. And I like Logic because the sound quality is great, and like Ableton can go into audio and really like, you could really manipulate like, you know, the track and the sample or whatever. And there's very, you know, good pros and cons to each program. So we have all of them. We have Cubase too. Like it's just.
So I guess they're interchangeable if you're bouncing tracks as audio and then you just
Right. I mean, you could swing them back and forth, and it's really what you're comfortable with, and you know, whatever you're getting that good sound out of. And you know, I honestly I prefer Logic. That's what I learned on, and I'm so comfortable. And the sound quality to me is really where it's at. So
Who's the technical guy out of you two?
we're both pretty good, so it's a pretty good balance. So I gotta say, you know, like if I left him alone, you know, we worked on something, we left him alone, he'll send it back to me like, this is dope, good. So that's the good part. You know, so like if I'm working all day at, you know, my construction job and I need a break at night, he can take over and let it rock.
That's good.
So you recently just had a kid, right?
Yeah, recently.
Congratulations.
2 years ago, March.
Awesome.
So it's an adventure in itself.
I know
So
all
did you.
about it.
So congratulations to you too.
Well, look, we're excited to have you here. You're going to be playing some of your tracks.
Oh, yeah, I
some
have.
exclusives, right?
Yeah, they're not even out yet. They won't be out till probably around WMC and around that time. Probably closer to the summer. But you hear them tonight.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming down, bro.
Awesome, guys.
We'll take a 2-minute
Humbled to be
break. We're going to get Dom up on the decks. Peace.